What is going on, people? TripleM back again with another video. It's a daily dose of football content, and today I would like to talk about Liverpool as they get a triumphant and dominant win against Rangers. Honestly, a much-needed performance for Jurgen Klopp and his men, and honestly, that 2-0 scoreline is very flattering to Rangers because I think that if it wasn't for McGregor, it could have easily been a 4 or 5-0 game. Genuinely speaking, maybe you could say that Liverpool should have been more clinical, but I think McGregor had a good game. You've got to give credit where credit is due. If this game ended in a draw, I would say McGregor's man of the match. I would say that Rangers' goalkeeper was the man of the match because he was that good tonight. His shot stopping was elite and he kept Rangers in the game for a very long time. Now, before I get into individual performances on Liverpool's side, just for context, they dominated the game in terms of possession. For most of the game, they had about 70% possession, but at the end, they only had about 64% because Rangers started to come back to life, especially in that last half an hour. I think they had 23 shots total. Compared to Rangers, they only had 6. They had 16 shots in Rangers' box alone. That's crazy. And I believe about 10 shots on target. So Liverpool dominated tonight's game. They created a lot of chances. They peppered the goal of Rangers quite a lot. There was a fluid system for them. I don't watch Liverpool every single week, so I was surprised to see Jota and Nunes both starting with Jota playing in the 10 role. That was something I haven't seen this season, so that probably exposes how much I've watched Liverpool, but that's a pretty cool experiment to see. Tiago Alcantada and Henderson playing in the midfield behind Jota, and then obviously Nunes and Salah out wide. It worked. It worked. Now, Rangers isn't a litmus test. Rangers isn't a team that suddenly, Liverpool beat and their season is completely turned around. It doesn't work like that. But when you apply the context of how bad Liverpool have been, I think tonight is a really, really good performance. So let's get into some individual performances. Now, I'm looking at Thiago's stats here. He had 2 interceptions, 4 tackles, okay? He had 87% pass accuracy. He played quite a few key passes. Now, SofaScore says he only played 1 key pass, but just visually in terms of the eye test, I feel like he played quite a lot of important passes. Maybe not passes that you would say, yeah, that should have 100% been a goal, or that should have 100% led to something more than just, giving away possession cheaply. But he was very involved. He had a very good game, is what I'm trying to say. So Tiago Alcantada today was the Tiago Alcantada that many Liverpool fans thought they were buying. And the problem with this guy is he's just not consistent, mainly because of fitness issues, but even sometimes when he has been able to stay fit, he just goes missing in games. He's a very pretty footballer who doesn't work that hard, doesn't really get stuck in. So there's a lot of, there's a lot of compensation that you need to put into your system and a lot of thought if you're Jurgen Klopp to fit a player like Tiago Alcantada, especially in the Premier League. He's just one of those footballers. He's a very sulky baller, as they like to call them. I heard that's what the cool kids are calling them these days. Anyways, let's talk about Salah. I thought Salah was good today. There was a couple of moments in today's game where he actually produced an attack virtually out of nothing. Now, he received the ball in the final third. He was double-teamed a couple of times, and just his ability to know when to release the ball, but also know how to thread it between the gap of 2 players when he's being double teamed on. Also just his dribbling, his composure, everything about him. I think Salah had a good game today. And when I say good game, I mean in context of his previous performances. Everybody knows Salah's not having the greatest of seasons at the moment, but I think he's a victim of his own success in the very recent past. I think because people are so used to Salah doing such great things, now when he does it, it's like, we expect that from Salah, so did he really have a good game? And that's not fair. A player of Salah's quality is very rare in football, and so you should appreciate it for what it is, even though you've seen it a million times before, and even though you've seen him play better than he currently is right now. For me, he was one of Liverpool's key players today, and even though in the second half he kind of dropped off, took a lot of silly shots because he knew that Liverpool were winning the game and were in control, and he was being a little bit selfish, as Salah does, I think that he still had a very good game. Now, I do want to talk about Darwin Nunes. Not that he was a standout performer, although some people would say he was a standout performer. I think he had 4 shots on target, all 4 stopped, by McGregor. I believe he had a couple of other shots that didn't really land up anywhere after that. Then there was a few moments where I thought he mistimed his run or he ran into the wrong area of the box. And this is where you see the difference between someone like Nunes versus someone like Haaland. Those comparisons in the summer were laughable because Haaland is on another level to Darwin Nunes. And I feel like a lot of people think that Darwin Nunes is a flop right now, not just because of his price tag, not just because they're objectively looking at him as a footballer, but because of the hype, the whole forced rivalry between him and Haaland. The gap and the disparity between them two is making Nunes seem a lot worse than he is, when in reality, most strikers are levels away from Haaland, right? Most strikers look really bad in comparison to Haaland. And you saw today with Nunes, man, he just was so desperate to score, but he couldn't get the ball in the back of the net. And I don't know why, but I feel like if Haaland was put in that same situation, he would have scored all of those goals and then some more. I feel like he would have gotten the end of some of those crosses because that's just how good Erling Haaland is. With Darwin Nunes, do I think is a flop? No, I'm not one of those United fans that's just going to call him a flop because he plays for Liverpool and just be salty. I'm an objective person. Some people don't like it. Some people, seem to have this weird feeling that if you're a Manchester United fan, you're not allowed to compliment Liverpool. You're not allowed to compliment Liverpool players. I don't believe in that nonsense. I will compliment a Liverpool player if they played well because I'm a football fan first before I'm a United fan. So I try to be objective. Obviously, I don't like Darwin Nunes because he plays for Liverpool, but credit where credit is due, man. I think he was okay tonight, and I think he will be okay in the future for Liverpool. I just think he needs to get his first goal, and I just think he needs to get his confidence up. There was a few moments in the game where even other Liverpool players gave up a better passing option to try give the ball to Darwin Nunes. That's a sign of desperation, man. That's a sign that this guy desperately needs a goal, and if you can't get it against Rangers, that is a huge red flag, obviously. But I think he'll be fine. I think Darwin Nunes will eventually come into his own as long as Jurgen Klopp and the rest of the coaching staff, as well as the players, are able to put a shoulder around him and tell him, listen, man, it's okay, we've got you. He mustn't feel too pressured by the price tag, by the media, etc. It's all down to how he handles the pressure, in my opinion, because today, even though he definitely should have scored at least one of those chances, McGregor, was just a good shot stopper tonight. That's going to happen sometimes. That's going to happen. But anyways, I don't want to compliment Liverpool too much. I'd rather do more with my Tuesday evening. So I'm going to wrap the video up there. Honestly, Liverpool are a hard team to judge the season. They're an enigma. I don't know what to think of them because the performance tonight was great, but it is just Rangers, right? If they do it against Napoli, if they do it against any Premier League opposition, it's a completely different story. But after watching them against Brighton at the weekend, after watching them against Napoli a couple of weeks ago, after watching them against Fulham on the opening day, after watching them against us, even though Liverpool have only lost one game in the league, it feels like they're having a terrible season. And they probably are, to be fair, because of draws and just bad performances. But I don't know. It's hard to read this Liverpool team. It's hard to see if they will kick back on. It's hard to see if Jurgen Klopp will actually fix these issues. It almost feels like we're seeing the end of Liverpool and the end of the Klopp era. But I don't want to jump too soon on that. I don't want to be edgy and try to call something that I don't truly believe. I'm just not sure about Liverpool at the moment. Anyways, it's been your boy TripleM. Leave a like on the video. Leave a comment if you want to. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. Peace.